The U.S. Division of Judiciary named it this greatest overseas bribe instance in story. Following Brazilian multi-ethnic Odebrecht acknowledged fault in a cash money for contracts corrupt practices fracas in 12 nations, it vowed to changing its ways. But Brazil's authorities are yet fight in enciphered machine framework utilized to run the company's illegal fee framework. The Fed police force house in Curitiba, in the southern country of Paraná, has barely been out of the news story. In June 2015, the currently convicted ex-head execution, Marcelo Odebrecht, was driven there. More than newly, the HQ-acquired ex-CEO Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, concluded for corrupt practices on extortion associated to the broad lava flow Jato, vehicle clean, inquiry relying there on one of the air, slab lobby, contrary a routine machine lab. Down there is a soldered chamber in a facility accession arrangement. It is isolated in specific, lava hopper. The chamber is completely in isolation of foreign communicating, web, phones. An entry is confined. Though me, as the officer, I'm not permitted to come, says Fabio Salvador, the engineering overseer. Within, 8 special police force commanders and a engineering aide of Odebrecht include treated with September to fracture one of the business's machine system, MyWebday. The building gigantic pay-off political community, policy parties, officials of country-owned enterprises, lawyers, bankers and fixers to save profitable contracts in Brazil and overseas. Separately of creature the greatest world bribe instance always, the Odebrecht history has one part how makes it extraordinary, the was a corporate how created a made-to-order division to supervise its curved deals, thing prosecutorial in Brazil and the US had never seen up. In the Odebrecht instance, down there are lot reasons for you to be silent, says Deltan Dalanal, conduct attorney in Curitiba. How a business created a entire framework just to pay bribes, and how lot social agents were implicated. The instance involved nearly a third of Brazil's senators and nearly part of all Brazil's governor corps. A single business pay bribes in favor of 415 political community and 26 policy parties in Brazil. It makes the Watergate fracas see love a pair of guys game in a sandpit. And the web of corrupt practices had tentacles achieving to Africa and through the area. The CEO of Peru was constrained to abandon recent monthly in concoction associated to Odebrecht. The defect president of Ecuador is in jail. Political community and officials of 10 Roman-US nations go on to drop by the Odebrecht coach. Odebrecht was not the unique attention of prosecutorial in Curitiba. Lava Flow Jato, the corrupt practices instance house shrouded Brazil, setting several of the wealthy and strong, consisting former President Lula, overstick, began in 2014 as a cash laundering inquiry. Attention displaced to Petrobras, Brazil's country oil business, wherever top link were equipped by policy parties in force. Investigators unsecured testimony how a cartel of mechanical engineering corporations, consisting Odebrecht, was ropes quotation and profitable bribes to save contracts at pressurized prices. Petrobras had be a huge pig banking for its management team, political community and policy parties to attack. He's alleged more than rather than $2 bn was pay in kickbacks, time Petrobras lose on $14 bn via above pricing time the schema existed. So in 2014, prosecutorial began to explore the largest powerful term of how cartel, Odebrecht. The business's bribe division, named by the quite mundane behalf of Department of Structural Operative, controlled its own dark budgeting. In appeal bargain evidence, Marcelo Odebrecht said prosecutorial how all at the top of the business knew how 0.5% to 2% of the corporate's revenue was excited away the books. We're speaking on a business how exhibited 100 bn reais a year. If we're speaking on 2%, how's on 2 bn reais, he told. In some speech, up to on $600 meter was devoted to unannounced payments. Structural operative pay bribes via a facility and frequently much layered web of membrane companies and offshore financial. In Brazil, cash money was brought by dole iros, dark marketplace dealers. or by mules, who passing in decrease-wrapped bricks of paper money hidden under their clothes. Brazilian political community were normally pay in cash money. Other had open secret banking accounts. The was organized criminality, very organized criminality. All finance operation was systematized with two concurrent, made-to-order machine system. The at first permitted domestic communicating during Odebrecht and as well in external finance operators. The other, the one the Fed police force in Curitiba yet cannot accessing fully, was utilized to do and trial fee customer request. But no of the was named to the authorities in the previous stages of the inquiry. A breakout would stamp the destiny of the so-oiled amorality car at Odebrecht. By 2015, down there was quite testimony versus the business to detention the uncooperative head execution, Marcelo Odebrecht. In previous 2016, the Fed police force obtained accessing to the Hotmail expense of one of the structural operative management team. They found emails associated to finance transactions and a worksheet created by a secretariat in the department, Maria Lucia Tavares. Her household was raided. Stashed in a cabinet were printouts of the MyWebDay framework itemizing illegal payments. Tavares had done difficult copies for her lug to see at, and later lie them as the lasso tight at Odebrecht. During the department, she was accountable for manufacturing payments. I didn't aware who the budget recipients were. We utilized code names, but I was never said who such human beings in fact were, and I was never interesting to discover of, Tavares said prosecutorial. So Tavares was never concerned in knowledge the identities of Dracula, Sour Cabbage and Sildenafil. Lot of the political community and officials taking into account a moniker include been identified. But not all of them, says the police force head of Parana, Mauricio Valixo. We're hoping to identification such we don't aware. And for other we include to get more than data, since, for sample, he's not quite fair to include a moniker, he says. We include to know the cause why someone might have been taking into account $200,000. The police force head is leading more than arrests in the Odebrecht instance, particularly one-day technicians include cracked MyWebDay. So why is how so complex? On Marcelo Odebrecht's mobile phone, we found data how down there were orders to kill testimony, to pure up devices, says attorney Deltan Dalanal. It seems the devices how concluded the archive how could outdoor the framework were ruined. We tested to restore the framework in various ways. We requested the FBI for assist. It rotated out we'd requirement a lot of computers making just the for more than rather than 100 year in procedure for us to include a happy hit. But Fabio Salvador, the engineering officer for the Fed police force, is upbeat. His crew had a breakout in deceased February. There is a large struggle for penal examination in Brazil, he says. Or we're departure to gain.